What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? There are 13 energy centers in and outside of your body, below your feet and above your head. They're called your chakras. Your chakras govern your reality. They make your life happen. They're fueled by your subconscious thoughts, your life force, your action, sexual energy that exists in all of us, creating from the vibration that flows within us. Constant, consistent creation, directed by the choices that we make. You have the right to be who you're supposed to be, so what's it gonna be? You are the master of your vibration. Feed your mind for elevation. There is no time for contemplation. The time is now. So what's it gonna be? Hola, ladies and gentlemen. What it's gonna be is the grand rising of the matriarch that's happening tonight. It is the grand rising of the matriarch. It is December 22nd, 2023. I am filling in for iMinister Ready, Sakira, sending her so much love and the highest vibration of love and ache that I have for her, along with, look at me, I'm getting all jumbled up. Along with iMinister Ready, who brings this Grand Rising of the Matriarch, is the creator of the Grand Rising of the Matriarch, iMinister Ojeyemi. iMinister Ojeyemi, welcome.
Greetings, welcome, thank you.
You're very welcome. Isn't it funny when things are different, how rattled we can get when there's change? It's like, I'm used to like doing my thing. So iMinister Reddy's here. She does her thing. And, you know, and then it's like when I got to step up, it's like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
In the vein of keeping some order, what I would like to do is I want to open up this session with a very special prayer from iMinister Ojeyemi, who's really going to kick off what this topic is tonight about the positive or the negative energy. Which one is it? What vibrational frequency is it that moves the Wombtress? So before we begin, we're going to give thanks, and I'm going to yield the floor to iMinister Ojeyemi.
I give thanks and praise, thanks and praise, thanks and praise. Sitting in the seat of absolute gratitude and gratefulness. Thank you for Master Liar Vibration 13. Thank you for SDG 13. Thank you for iMinister Solutions 13. Thank you for iMinister Ready, Sakira. Thank you for each iMinister. We give thanks and praise to the Most High, to the Matriarch. We honor each other. We lift each other up. We hold each other in sacred space. Love. And when we vibrate from the frequency of love is that cohesiveness, it's that bonding glue. It's like when you're baking a pie or a cake, and that egg, that love is that egg that holds everything together. That's that cosmic glue. Mm-hmm. And we send that cosmic glue across this whole motherverse, omniverse, universe. We send it to ourselves. We send it to our ancestors. We send it to our community. And we raise each other up, and we hold each other in the sacredness of the divinity of who we are. We give thanks and praise to our ancestors who showed us we stand on the foundation of greatness. And Gungun ancestors, you're welcome in this space. We thank you. You are our first line of defense. Without you, there's no us. Without us, there's no you. We come through generations of wounds and generations and generations and generations of wounds. We honor you. When we can't find our way, we're turning to you for the answer. Because see, you can see what we can't see. You can go where we can't go. We call on the warrior ancestors to come and fight this war. We ask you to come and stand before us, so no weapon formed against us can prosper. We thank you, we honor you. Give thanks and praise for each bloodline that's represented here tonight. Thanks and praise for each and everyone who's tuning in or wanted to tune in to the grand rising of the matriarch. And we ask that you listen with the spiritual ear. You see with the spiritual eye. You feel with your spiritual essence. That you look within yourself for everything. Ashe, Amara, Mayat.
Ache.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ache. Ache 13. Thank you so much for that. Tonight, we're talking about this topic that is permeating the world right now is negative and positive energy, especially during this time. But it is a little more dense in the negative side at this time because of the season and everything. And we were talking a little bit offline about that. And it made me think about the Wombtress and the way this energy, the way our energy as the divine feminine affects the entire planet. So what made you, what inspired you to decide that this is where we were going tonight?
Well, when we had the Rufa Wednesday, iMinister Ready Secure talked about positive and negative. And I'm like, positive and negative. And something said, meditate on that. And I did. And then a dawning came, a reasoning came. And it said that positive, what does it actually mean? And it took me back to guess what? Yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the symbol of yin and yang. And when you look at yin, what does it say? Yin is that cold, passive, dark, feminine, negative energy.
Mm.
And it said positive is the sun, the light, the warmth, and the positive masculine energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, interesting. So I said, so if we're so focused on positive and negative, then that means that there's nothing wrong with the negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the negative energy represents the womb.
Yes.
So if we keep saying that the negative energy is negative, then it means we as sisters are what?
Negative.
We're not honoring ourselves.
Right.
That's right. We're not honoring ourselves. But they say that that's their negative energy. But what fuels the battery? When you put the battery in, what the charge is coming from the battery? Is it coming from the positive charge or is it coming from the negative charge?
Coming from the negative charge.
It's coming from the negative charge. So, once again, how do you suppress a nation of people? You suppress them by holding the womb down. Does everything not come out the womb?
Mm-hmm.
So if everything comes out of the womb, how do you control the race of beings? You suppress that part of them that comes from everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're so busy running around here talking about positive and negative that we're not really honoring who we are.
Right.
As Wombtresses. I spoke a couple of podcasts before about if you're living in the light, that's the patriarch energy. And if you're living in the darkness, that's the matriarch. Because when you're in the womb, what are you in?
Mm-hmm. In the darkness.
Yes. So if everything comes out of the womb, that means sisters and brothers, we all come from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
The mothers created the sons. The mothers created the daughters. So everything bowed down to who? The mother. So the patriarch energy, which is that warring energy, that energy is about wars, it's about conquering and dividing. But what is the matriarch energy about? We talked about earlier about when you said Charleston White said there's no more family reunions. Let's go back to the movie Soul Food.
Mm-hmm.
What would they, every Sunday, 9 times out of 10, in the melanated community, whose house was we at?
Grandmama's house.
And what was we doing?
Eating, fellowship, laughing, dancing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So when the umbilical cord from grandma is cut, what happens?
Everything goes astray.
Unless someone steps up to carry the banner, to continue the bloodline. So that's why we're here. We're here to continue our bloodline. We are a race of beings that have always been communal. And when you cut that communal cord, it's melanin. We get kind of like discombobulated. So once again, we go back to what's positive and what's negative. Because if you as a sister don't deal with that energy that you can have been told is negative, then you're not really dealing with yourself.
Right.
Society has said that dark energy is negative, and we bought that. I heard a sister ask her brother, she says, when you say, the brother, what do you know, when y'all come, y'all bring war. Well, when a sister comes, she brings her two, what do they call it? Tsunami. If you go into the book of Proverbs, and it talks about how when a brother is in a house and and the brother's in a house and the sister's on a rampage, you can't handle that. What makes life cohesive for a brother? What makes a brother strong? What gives that brother that fuel to go out and do what he needs to do? Gives him that charge to be a powerful brother. What's the energy that stands behind him?
The woman's energy.
A sister's energy.
Absolutely.
So if we're the charge and we're the fuel, how could it possibly be negative? And if we're that dark energy, how is it possible that the positive can outweigh us? It can't. But we've been trained and conditioned since the beginning of time. What do they call it? Accentuation take the positive and eliminate the negative. So if you eliminate the negative, what are you eliminating?
Right.
So it's that play on the word sound again. You have to watch, as the Master Key said, you have to pay attention. As iMinister Gabrielle said, pay attention to what pays you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's paying us is that we're not really listening and we're not really tuned in to that vibrational frequency that's being created for us. So they tell us that, oh, well, you know, this is negative and this is positive. It's an interchangeable word. Because when a sister has children, she has to go forth and do what she needs to do. So she is the educator of those children.
Mm-hmm.
The brother's responsibility is to go out to bring the bread in. But society has it set up where the sister is going out to bring the bread in and eliminate the brother. So there is no family cohesiveness. But it was designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if everything came from the mother, then it's one vibrational frequency. So once again, they know exactly the season. What is the season right now? They create all this chaos. But you see, you got to have the chaos in order to have the magic.
Absolutely.
They know that we're magical and mystical. They know that the melanin in our body is so powerful and so strong, but it's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the drugs was created. You know, that's why the sugar was created, because of the melanin. It draws it. It's an addictive quality. That's why we are easily addicted to things, because of the melanin. It grabs, it holds. It's that cohesive, like love.
That's very interesting when you put it like that.
Yes. But if you study melanin, Richard Thomas, Carol Barnes, Timothy, I think his name is Dr. Timothy something. But if you study melanin, it tells you that melanin is an addictive. It has an addictive quality. Like gluten. But melanin is strong up under stress and fear. And it's really strong up under stress. It kicks it up to a higher notch. So if I want to control you, if I want to use your frequency and your vibration, what am I going to do?
Stress
I'm
you
going
out.
to kick off some stress. I'm going to kick off some chaos.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride your vibrational frequency. So I'm going to keep you out of harmony. How do I keep you out of harmony? Well, that's negative, so you stay on the positive. So if you stay over on one side, then that means you're out of harmony.
Yeah.
Now, the Master Key doesn't talk about balance. What does the Master Key talk about? Harmony. It's easier to have harmony than it is to have balance. That harmonious rhythm. We have a harmonious rhythm. That's why we have rhythm. That's that harmony. That's that flow state.
Yeah, you know, when you say that, it's like what I see in my mind is how the harmony carries the balance. You know, it's like you can't have harmony without, I like that.
Look at the music scales. You listen to music. You feel a harmony. You feel a rhythm. If you think, turn on all your lights. Listen to Sun Ra. Have you ever heard of Sun Ra? Space is the place. Sun Ra was way ahead of his time.
Yes, he was.
Theodis Monk. Yes, Theodis Monk. John Coltrane, Alice Coltrane. They would have jam sessions. Not this smooth jazz. Jazz was played without a... They just got together and they would just jam.
Yep. Like Miles Davis, he was good with that one.
Yes, so there was a rhythm and a harmony that beat it at 432 hertz. Well, they changed that frequency. And when they changed our frequency, it threw us off. The rhythm, the harmony, the code, that vibration. But now, if you go back to my favorite movie, The Matrix, and when he came back to Zion for the first time, Neo, and he was coming in, and everybody was giving him gifts. He didn't have an understanding of what was going on. And what's her name? The sister. She told him, she says, because you're the one.
Trinity.
They're honoring you.
Yeah.
Trinity. They're honoring you. So I say, what are you willing to give up your life for? What are you willing to die for? And if you're not, then what are you on the journey for?
Right.
So if we as Wombtresses, if we don't deal with that dark energy, if we don't deal with that dark energy, there's no way we could deal with the light energy. That's the frequency, that's the problem we have right now. Because we haven't embraced our energy, so therefore we can't embrace the killer energy.
You know what's really what comes to mind? What was coming to mind as you were talking was the you remember the movie The Stepford Wives?
Yes.
How they, they women have become a design of somebody else's mind. And that's what, they put it in a movie in that way so that people could think, oh, well, we're not like a Stepford wife. But when you really look at the dynamics of women these days and how women operate, they're not. They're the dark side is it's a thing of evil. It's the thing you don't look at. I remember I had a memory when I was a little girl. I was in Puerto Rico. I was about I was a teenager. I was 13 years old. And my mom had opened the door and she had seen me looking at myself. I was looking at myself. And she looked at me like I was the biggest whore for looking at my vagina. That it was like, and so you grow up with that, and you're constantly, even if you don't say it, that's in your subconscious mind of, no, that's bad, that's taboo, that's dark. You don't talk about it. You don't, we're stripped of that information of our sacredness and our what this sacral exchange is, this sacral exchange that happens between a man and a woman. It's a powerful exchange that happens, and in that exchange everything is created, and they've known that. And so this is why it's been by design that they've created their version of the Stepford wives in this world.
Yes, control. How you control a race of beings. You control the sister. Not the woman. You control the Wombtress. And if you can control the womb, because we were told, what sister actually looks at her vagina? What sister actually massages her vagina? What sister actually takes care of her womb? Very few of us. And once you get past and some of us have trauma, and some of us didn't have sexual trauma. But I always say this: you chose your mother, you chose your birth parents, you chose what bloodline you choose to come in. So if you chose your mother, how can you be mad at her because she didn't do something for you? You chose her. Why did you choose her? What's the karma between you and her? Maybe you didn't treat her well in a prior incarnation. So karma is going to write itself in this incarnation. We choose our birth parents. That's still the same choice of creation. We created that. So we choose in the womb before we get here. Because, when you up in there and you in your popcorn and they say, okay, Ojeyemi, it's time for you to come on down now. We're going to give you a soul. But before we give you this soul, we're going to run this slide so you can choose all the experiences that you want to have. Now, choose wisely. They can't tell you how to choose, but they do tell you to choose wisely. And you start seeing the movie screen, oh, I want that and I want that. But guess what? When you're in that dark, moist room, you have memory. But guess what? When you're born, they put that light in your face. And when they put that light in your face, you lose all cognitive memory.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're born in a hospital, that light is in your face. You've lost all cosmic memory.
Wow.
So they tell you, go to the light. Don't go to the light. Stay away from the light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not really a light. You are a radiant being. You bring a radiance. If you go back to all the pictures of your ancestors, don't you see a radiance? Don't you see a glow in them?
Mm-hmm.
They're not smiling, but they are powerful. You can feel they are shaking.
Oh, yeah.
Those pictures.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So that lets you know right then and there the power that you possess. So they knew that to smile, they said the reason they didn't smile because it was a mockery. So here comes someone says, when you take a picture, you smile now. So when a lot of people are taking pictures, you don't feel all shame because they're smiling.
Mm-hmm.
They took away from their essence. And that's what the picture does. The Native Americans very rarely take pictures because they feel like a picture took away from the essence of their soul.
Their soul, yep. I remember reading that.
So we have always been created powerful, but we've lost our power because we're not inward. Go back to the master key. Everything inside of us starts in the solar plexus, the subconscious mind, the mind that we don't deal with. There's this thing I call respect, realize, recognize, restore, remember. Every single seed creates conscious or unconscious, planted, evolving thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're consistently thinking, and it talks about the thinking in the master key, and if we can't control the monkey mind, we can't control anything. So once again, we go back to what's positive, what's negative, what's good, what's bad. It's an interchangeable word. But as a Wombtress, because everything came from us, we have to accept that dark energy. And that's how we create. You can't create from the light.
Ain't that something?
You can't. You can't. I don't care what nobody say. You can't. Try it and see what happens. Nothing. So you're going to have to, when you go inside, when you close your eyes, what do you see?
Darkness.
When are you powerful? When your eyes, thank you, when your eyes are closed, when your eyes are open. That's why I don't have a picture of me. When I deal with my Wombtresses and my prostate, I prefer not to see a picture because I can feel the energy.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Name means nature. Your name creates an energy. You create an energy vibrational frequency. By every footprint, every thought, every word, every action, every deed, every reaction creates something. And when you truly know yourself, this is what this is all about. When you truly know yourself, you know you can feel the frequency and the vibration. Because guess what? We all have a piece of the puzzle.
Yes.
We all are communal. That's that melanin. That's that binding. So we feed off of each other. When someone gets shot, you can feel that in the melanated community.
Mm-hmm.
When something happens In the melanated community, we all feel that. So why do you think they bring the magical war? Do you not think that they're creating that magic? They're doing that. They're putting spells so that our people go out here and do that because they know we're going to feel it. So they want us to be hopeless and despairless. So that's why they create that frequency. They ride that energy. So they ride the energy whether you have a low frequency. They ride the energy whether you have a high frequency. And it will take you a step further. If you're not calling on your ancestors, you're giving them Mormons the opportunity to call on your freaking ancestors.
Oh, absolutely.
So why do you think the Mormons got every birth certificate? Why do you think the Mormons got every census? They know what exactly they're doing. So if you don't call on your ancestors, then those people are going to call your ancestors. Because our ancestors want to be called. They want to be served. They want to be used. But they cannot come of their own accord. We have to call them. We have to invite them. So if you're not calling them, guess what? Somebody's going to ride that ancestral frequency in that way. Now, you have ancestors that left on a high vibrational frequency. You have ancestors who did not leave on a high vibrational frequency. And to those that didn't, you have to pray, forgive, and help raise that vibrational frequency so that energy won't be used. Because everything is energy. Some energy is in a body and some energy isn't in a body. So if you're not going to call them, somebody's going to call them. And they're going to go to whoever calls them and feed them and take care of them.
Yeah.
So no one has the right to call my ancestors without my permission.
You talked about how during this time they're harnessing the energy of the people. Can you go in a little bit on the ways that they do that?
Okay. So it's like I said, when someone gets shot in the black community, what frequency of energy is a sadness?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's hurt. It's anger. So if you're talking about all of that, you're creating a vibration. Anything that you talk about, you're going to create. And that's going to create, well, everything you do is what? Energy, right?
Yes.
So if everything is energy, and if the energy creates, energy is like a ball. The more you talk about something, the bigger it grows. So the more energy you feel you send out, it's out here. Anybody can feel it. Anybody can do anything with it. If you're emitting it, we are emitters. We're transmitters. We're senders. We're receivers. So we're emitting a low vibrational frequency of despair, stress, worry, doubt, and fear. I can take that energy that you're emitting and do whatever I want to do with it by calling it forth. I'm going to take this energy and I'm going to use rituals, tools, magic, abracadabra, whatever ritual that you know, by using the frequency of the people. So, because the energy is out here, it's out here in waves. All forms of energy. Feeling is an energy. Words carry a sound vibrational frequency. So I'm going to use that to create whatever it is I want to create. But you see, I'm creating in the darkness. I'm creating from the energy that you're giving me. So when people say, oh, well, they're talking about me. Okay, that's a frequency. Okay, and you can feel it. Mm-hmm. You can feel when someone cares about you. You can feel when someone doesn't care about you. That's a feeling. So you could take that same energy and say, you know what? I thank you for your energy because I'm going to take this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fuel it up with my energy and I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Some people use pictures. Some people use hair. It all depends on how you want to create what you want to create. But if you know magic and you got all the magical books, and you got all the spells that you've stolen, look at Aleister Crowley. What did he use? let's talk about him. Because everybody knows Aleister Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
He used blood. He used children. So, once again, if I can take your frequency and I got control, abracadabra, those are words of creation.
Yeah.
I can take my vision, use your energy to create whatever I want to create, along with my energy. It's out here. And when you go outside, we talked earlier, we words on earlier, you can feel the frequency of the people.
Mm-hmm.
The energy right now, you can feel it. It's strong on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you can take that energy and you can ride that wave to bring whatever it is that you want to bring through sexual magic. You can do it sexually. Take that same magic, incorporate it within, hold it like they call it like chi balls, and hold that frequency and ride that wave. Energy it's energy, so it belongs to whoever wants it, whoever can take it in, whoever can harness that energy in, who can bring it in their vibrational frequency, who can bring it in their womb, who can bring it in their prostate, who can hold that frequency and achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve with it.
So,
and they use sexual magic, they use blood, they use rituals.
One of the things that they do is that they take the energy of people, especially of the richly melanated people, and they steal information, right? And they suppress the energy of the whole people while they're still sucking up the intellectual properties, and they're still doing that. And we have an example of that in the entertainment industry and how their contracts and how everything works today. And that's just another form of them being able to not only harness energy, but they create these movies of these ideas of what it is in the entertainment industry, which keeps people believing, oh, this is how it is, so you got to sacrifice, this is what you got to do if you want to get in that game, in that world. You got, so before you get in that world, you're already programmed to sacrifice everything to be in it. And when in it, part of your responsibility is to continue to program the world so that they stay in a state of unconsciousness where they don't know who they are.
Well, those are called agents. Go back to the movie Matrix, the agents.
Mm-hmm.
They're designed to keep you distracted. But without them, well, that's all a part of the growth process. That's what you come here for.
Mm-hmm.
To see and know yourself. When you know yourself, you see the distractions. You see the truth. You say, oh, okay, I'm not going to get any energy.
Yeah.
But if you keep talking about something, you keep words on it, you keep giving it energy, it grows. And as it grows, it gets bigger, and they can ride that wave because you're giving all your energy instead of you conserving your energy and not feeding it, because you feed it. The more you words on about it, the more you're feeding it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So once you feed it, they got it. Once again, who has all the vital records? From the time you come to this planet of consciousness to the time you leave this planet of consciousness. So when people, Alexa and Google, you're giving them all that they need. What do you think that AI is doing? It's capturing everything. So when you got that phone in your breath and you got that phone in your pocket, they're pulling. It's a cell. So if you have cells, they're pulling from your cells. They get your DNA. They're pulling your stuff.
Have you felt the energy of when you're holding your phone, your arms will start? I know for me, I start feeling this energy in my arm that it just feels.
Tingling.
Yeah, and it feels like something is being pulled. Oh yeah, no, that
Yeah.
is so trippy to see how they're doing everything and how they've just gotten really they've gotten really fancy in their way of deception. Because back in, I believe it was 1913, when they got away from the gold standard and they fooled everybody, into taking the paper money. So now they're doing the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, but now that it's just more sophisticated. Now it's the internet. Now it's this, this ease of consenting. You consent with a
Right.
swipe. You consent with it's just a small touch, and you've consented and fallen into the jurisdiction of somebody else.
Okay. Do you know what a net is? If I wanted to get a group of people, what would I cast to get a group
Mm.
of people?
Mm-hmm. A net.
Okay. So now, internet. Do you know that the name of God in Kemet is Inter?
Mm. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Inter. So if I want to capture a group of people, I'm going to create what's the internet. So internet is I got you. This is your God. So I created this web. I got you in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're in my liar. You're in my trap. I got you because you're gonna use this internet for everything.
Yeah.
This is the God power that they want you to have. So if I want to take you deeper, the World Wide Web. Once again, what's a web? It's something that captures you. So do you know a spider is considered to be the mother energy because of her web? That's
Yes.
spiritual. Yeah,
Yes.
everything that they do is spiritual. You can't hardly find any coins now. The only thing you can find is that green energy, but they people on there. So
Mm-hmm.
they tell you you don't worship your ancestors, but everything that they do, they're worshiping theirs. Their
Yes.
currency has ancestors on there. Their pagan holidays got ancestor worship. They street are all people that are deceased.
Mm.
So what does that say?
Mm-hmm.
We so busy caught up into positive and negative, good and bad. Evil runs through my veins. Evil running through my veins. Can't hide it. But guess what? I can take that energy of evil,
Mm-hmm.
raise it up, and transmute it and transform it
That's right.
to do what I need to do with it. I can take that fear, that worry, that doubt, that anger, and move that energy up, transmute it and transform it and do what I need to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so busy trying to get rid of things instead of really paying attention and breathe through the process to see exactly what is. Every time something comes, we should say, what is this that stands before me? What is this? Instead of buying into the energy of it, see for what it is. Because there's a truth behind everything. Can you see the truth?
Mm-hmm. Can you feel the truth?
Yes. Can you taste it, touch it?
Mm-hmm.
See, we only use we don't use the six senses to be a part of our creative energy. They're there for a reason. See, taste, touch, and feel
Mm-hmm.
are a part of that creative process. And when we incorporate that with that creative sexual magic energy, that's the power. I tell people, you ain't got to go to war. Now, there are some people who come to go to war, but
Right.
you can become the warrior by just creating. You could send forth an energy so powerful it will knock somebody down.
Mm-hmm.
It can cripple them if you know yourself, if you know how powerful you are. So we go back to when you become the age of 40, that's when your magic starts unfolding. That's
Ah.
when, the magic is 40. That's when you really start selling in. And when you become the crone, you're unstoppable. So we don't even know how our energy flows because we're allowing it to go wherever it needs to go. We don't even know how to harness it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know how to harness your energy, it's leaking and it's everywhere. And you can tell when someone's energy is all over the place when they
Yeah.
have leakage. It
Yeah.
shows.
Yes.
So the season right now is the season we should be going inward, harnessing our energy, keeping it very close, not giving it away. You decide who gets your frequency. You decide who gets your energy. You have that right.
Yes.
So let's go back to this dark energy. It's there for a reason. When you in the darkness, the Mau when they had to fight the British, they went to the oracles. You know what the oracles told them? Do not fight the British in the daytime. You only fight them at night.
Mm.
Because you see, the Europeans can't see in the darkness. Their perception isn't powerful. Ours is.
Mm-hmm.
With the Dogons, they can't even fathom to this day that the Dogons was able to find Sirius B and Sirius A and knew every planetary alignment. Guess how they did it? They would come out at night and use that night vision.
Mm.
That's how they were able to do that. Go back to the movie, The Woman King. When she went to get her daughter, where did she go?
At night.
Yes, that's when we're at our powerfulness, when we're in the darkness. I am the darkness that enlightens the way. I can't do it with the light. I need the cover. When Harriet Tubman came out, when did she come out?
That night.
So guess what? They couldn't see, but you know what they did? They got the dogs.
Right.
That's why when our ancestors was on, they would get the dogs because they couldn't get them on. They couldn't track them. They couldn't see.
You know what? Now that you mention that, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. There are a lot of people of color that have this real deep fear of dogs, and it's not even anything that they had a physical experience in this life about dogs. Would you say?
From our ancestors.
Achi. And that's just
They use animals to harm us.
Mm-hmm.
They fed our babies to alligators. So they treat the animals better than they treated us. Not to have a bit, but you understand, they know how powerful we are. They know the power that resides between a woman's legs. They know that. That's why they have suppressed us, and that's why they have oppressed us, because they know our power, our brothers' power lies in us. And when our brothers open their eyes and realize that the power lies with us, and when we can bring our power together, that's why our ancestors always was together. They never left their wives and their husbands. They stayed together. They was a power unit. They moved together in unison. That's why when communities was created, it was created with the Wombtress and the prostate. They moved as one accord. That melanin moved together. And everybody has melanin. Okay, but guess who got the highest? BLAK. Not BLAC, because that means black. Black people got the highest melanin. And then you got the brown people next. So everybody got melanin, but we got the most. Why do you think we come up missing our babies? Mm-hmm. Melanin resides in the prostate. Melanin resides in the breast. Melanin resides in the eyes. Melanin resides in the wombs. Melanin resides in the blood. So they know exactly, but we don't. We are so caught up in the good and bad. Okay, so there's a Judas in us all. But it's how you choose to live. That don't mean that you have to live from that Judas because it's in you, because this evil's in you. But you can take that evil and transmute it and transform it and raise it up and do what you got to do. Now we talk about bloodshed. Blood has to be shed for any transformational change to take place. That's our chemical process. That's that ritual process. They know. Now, when you're dealing with the Masons now, we're going to talk about that 33 vertebrae in the back. So, that 33 degree. Now, we know that nobody in the Masonry or the stars really leave this physical planet, so they know how powerful death is. Mm-hmm. So they use the death ritual in Masonry. Mm-hmm. But they know the power of death. And they know that whenever someone makes their transition in your bloodline, all that I say now becomes yours. That's how powerful the death ritual is, because that's a frequency that's no longer in the body. Mm-hmm. You're more powerful when you don't have a body. That's why the ancestors carry such great power. That's why their power is unknown. That's why they don't want you to worship your ancestors, because they know there's a power that is untouched, untamed, raw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So if you connect back to that, once again, they're going to take care of you. When I can't find something, when I need something, you know the first person, you know who I call on?
Who do you call?
My ancestors. My ancestors. Okay, Egungun, I can't find my keys. I can't find it. Before I leave my house, when I get out, before I get out my bed, before I speak to anybody, my communion is with my ancestors.
That's it.
If you deal with your ancestors, your life ain't going to be so pleasant. They have the power to take you where you can't go, and they have the power to hold you. Because once again, if you don't call them, somebody will. So you mean to tell me, how can you have something you have not seen, and you praise at something you have not seen, when you got your ancestors who have taken care of you, willing to do it, your bloodline? Big Mama cook for you, clean for you, did for you. You mean to tell me you're not going to call her Big Mama? You're not going to access that energy, that potent, raw energy? How could you not? Especially when you come from blood on people that looked out for you. How could you not call them?
Right.
How could that not commute? But see, we've been told that energy is either positive or negative. It's just energy, a frequency and a vibration to be used to serve a purpose.
When I was little, I used to think, why is it that so many so-called bad people in the world are so rich and are so good, or their life seems so easy, at that time. That was my thought. And, now in my adult age, I recognize the power of energy and how karma works, and how the people that have that power, they know how to use that energy. And when you know that power, there really truly is nothing that you can't do. And your relationship with your creator is your private relationship that you hone yourself with the with the tools and with the different rituals and the things that are available to us to really sharpen that connection. But those that do know that power, they're beyond a religion. They're beyond. It's a frequency. It's an energetic frequency that people can exist in. That just like the Matrix, it's whatever you want to create. Yeah.
Yes. Whatever you want to call it, yes. So, now my ancestors come. My godmother said, I always say, are you percolating and then you are you percolating or are you circulating? You percolating? Are you percolating? Are you circulating? She never asked you how you doing. She said, are you percolating and circulating? So what does the coffee do? It percolates, right? So when something is percolating, that means it's moving, it's active. So, but once again, can you be still?
Yes.
See, let's go to the master key now here. She has some wisdom in being still.
Yes.
Can you be still in the chaos? Can you be still and just watch everything going on around you and still do what you need to do? You can do it in the stillness. The mother said, be still and know. You have to be still. You have to have a stillness about you. And that don't mean that you don't have to be moving. That means that everything within you is in harmony. And you in the flow, and you in the rhythm, but you're still. They call it what? The walking meditation, which means just being still. When you're driving, are you still? But we're so busy minding other people's business until we can't mind our own business. So can you take that mind and be still? Can you sit still for 5 minutes?
Ooh, that's so hard for people to do.
Because that means that there's something about yourself that you don't want to see. There's something about yourself that you don't want to experience. In order to experience self, you have to be still and sit with self.
Yes.
It's not really a hard thing to do. You just got to practice the presence. The more you practice the presence, the stronger the presence is in you. You are the presence. You are the omniscient, omnipotent, omniopulent being. Everything that you need was given to you at birth before you chose to come to this planet. So when people have green energy, it's because you got to look at what did you do in your prior incarnation? What you brought from the prior incarnation is what you bring forth in this incarnation. Life is cumulative. Life is continuum. But they told you that life ends when you die. So it made you fear death. So in you fearing death, you can't rise to your true ascension. You can't rise to the true alchemical being that you came to be because you fear the unknown. And pay attention to people. Well, I saw a bird and I saw this. I got to see what it means. When you're looking up an interpretation, that's somebody else's interpretation. What's your interpretation of what you saw?
That's it.
That's somebody else's now. What do you feel about that? What do you think about that? What do you say about that? So when people tell me, Sally Sue said, that's Sally Sue. What did you say? What did you feel?
Yes.
I want to hear what you feel. I want to hear what you got to say.
Yes.
Not Sally Sue, you.
Yes. Yep.
So we are so afraid of the unknown. And if you can't stay in the unknown, which is that void, that darkness, that stuff that you can't see, then how can you deal with the known that you do see every day?
Right.
So they fooled you. They told you positive and negative. Don't talk to this. If you do this, that's bad. That's negative. That's evil. So that's how they get you. And they keep you suppressed and oppressed. And like you say, you have to be bold enough to say, you know what? If everybody's swimming upstream, I'm not going to swim upstream. I'm going to go back. If everybody's going the same way, I'm not going everybody's way.
That's right.
Something's not right.
That's the truth.
You got to be able to, you got to be able to have discernment. You got to be able to know that this is a game and they're playing it.
Oh
Now
yeah.
you could either play in the game or say, you know what? I got to know when to hold up, when to fold up, when to count the bountifulness and say, you know what? Nope, not going to buy into that.
Mhm. Man, this has been a fantastic conversation that continues on. And we continue to have these conversations every single Friday here at Master Vibration 13. You can also find the Grand Rising of the Matriarch on Spotify. You can also find the Grand Rising of the Matriarch on YouTube. So definitely check us out. I'm Minister Ojeyemi. As usual, you do a magnificent job. I want to let everyone know that you're here courtesy of Queen's Mother Sacred Ancestral Palace, which is your iMinistry where you do your work from. And if anyone is interested in having a connection with iMinister Ojeyemi, she specializes in womb healing among so many other things. You can send a text to 818 233 5776. And just on that text, you want to put I am Ojeyemi on there so that we'll know, who it's for and make sure that you get in contact with the Queen Mother Sacral Ancestral Palace. Master Vibration 13 is on a worldwide tour. We're connecting with people worldwide, even online. And that is the power of the internet. And so we're doing this. This tour is not just physical, but we're able to come into various communities through the internet, via the internet. This is our time to do this work. And those of us that are here doing this that we're doing have to stay in connection with each other and support each other. So I want to continue to spread the word on what is happening with the Grand Rising of the Matriarch, because this conversation is necessary to have. And we want you to pass on this information with other people that you feel need to know this information. It's not just for women. The Grand Rising of the Matriarch is a understanding that's going to bring you to a comprehension of how humans exist and how to connect with yourself and with your source. So there's, it's deep as the ocean. 818-233-5776 is the number to dial if you want to make that connection with us. You can come to mastervibration13.com and connect with us there as well. I want to thank everyone that made it live here to this very special session. I'm going to pass it on. I want to say thank you to iMinister Reddy for allowing me to cover her. And let me tell you, there is no one like iMinister Reddy doing what you do. So you are missed, but we know that you're here with us anyway. So thank you, and we're looking forward to having you back in your spot next Friday at the same time. Yeah. And
don't
that
forget Wusa Wednesday and psychosexual.
Yes. Tomorrow we're going to be continuing the conversation with iMinister Symphony from from Mother of Pearl's ministry, and we're talking about sacral healing, sexual healing. This is a very powerful session that is really revving up right now. And tomorrow on the session, my special guest is going to be my significant other, my other half, my that helps me with my wholeness, is iMinister Solution. We're going to be talking about our sexual nature, and kind of like the things that brought us together, and the trauma that brought us together. Like you were talking tonight about the darkness and how people, move away from the darkness. And in that darkness, I found myself and I found my significant other, and it's like, man, so much to cover, so much to discuss. and to talk about it. And so we're going to continue that tomorrow, and that's going to be those of you that are at mastervibration13.com, we're gonna text you the time, the actual time that's gonna take place tomorrow. I believe it's gonna be at 10 in the evening for Eastern Standard Time. But iMinister Symphony is a mother, and we go by her schedule on that situation. So that's going to happen tomorrow. We'll make sure come to mastervibration13.com so that you can get that information and be able to participate in the live broadcast. Those that are checking us out later, thank you so much, and please share if you're interested and this has moved you tonight and you want to help us keep this vision in motion. You can make a contribution to $ S as in Sam, E as in everlasting, G as in goddess, the number 1, the number 3, L as in Larry, O, V as in Victor, E, SCG13 Love on Cash App, and you can make a contribution. And your contribution, you will be able to receive a receipt for any contributions that are well, you know what? Any amount that you would like a receipt for your contribution, we will be happy to supply you with that receipt. I think that does it for the announcements. I believe we said...
except for we forgot Wusa Wednesday.
Oh, Wusa Wednesday. Wusa Wednesday happens every Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning, and a PST, Pacific Standard Time, for Wusa Wednesday. And this Wusa Wednesday, we are discussing iMinister Solution. Can you tell me what we're discussing on Wusa Wednesday? Okay, he wants to leave it back to me.
No, you were the one. You are the orchestrator.
I am the orchestrator of that. And, yes, for Wusa Wednesday is the accountability of yourself. It's important to recognize the energy that you carry and what you are bringing to others. And so, because that always goes back to you. So we're talking about self-accountability next Wusa Wednesday. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight at this hour, whatever time you're tuning in today. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pass it back on to iMinister Ojeyemi. Gracias. Thank you so much. Close us out, please, ma'am.
Thank you. Thankful and gratefulness, knowing that the energy goes before us is smooth, easy, and successful. We give thanks to each and every one of you. We thank our ancestors. We thank our spirit guides. We thank the energy. We thank the vibrational frequency of love, of self, of being, who we come to be. The mothers are in the sacred temple that all earth bow down in silence before them. Ashe, Amira, Maya, toe, toe, toe.
Ashe, Amira,
When I feel the sound of music vibrating in me, I take hold of the energy and ride the frequency. My soul makes the melody of my life, so I must sing. Every tune that comes through me brings balance to my being. I have the power to change the direction in me through sound. I have the power to change the direction in me through my mind. I am creation, I am animation, I am the brightest vibrant star in all of the constellations. I am zip, pepper, sass, punch, bounce, moxie, mojo, whatever you call it. I am. Ajay, 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 Ajay. H13